All right, welcome. Today we're taking a journey to the deepest, most mysterious, and honestly, the least explored parts of our very own planet. We're going to count down the 5 deepest oceans on Earth, going all the way down to the ultimate abyss.
So here's how we're going to do it. First, we'll get into our timeless fascination with the deep. Then, we kick off the countdown with the oceans at the poles, move through the huge middle oceans, and then finally, we'll take the plunge to the deepest spot on the entire planet. You know, for as long as we've been humans, the ocean has been this source of both wonder and, let's be real, a little bit of fear. It's this enormous, powerful world right next door, but for centuries, what's down in the depths was completely out of our reach.
It's a pretty big question, right? I mean, from the very first simple boats to the super advanced submersibles we have today, we've just always been driven to figure out what's under the waves. The idea that we live on just a quarter of our world while the other 3/4 is all water, well, that's fueled a constant search for discovery.
And that search recently hit an incredible milestone. Back in 2019, an explorer named Victor Vescovo led the 5 Deeps expedition. It was the first mission ever to visit the deepest points of all 5 oceans. His achievement is kind of the inspiration for our journey today, as we trace that path to the bottom of the world.
So, our countdown begins at the planet's extremes, the very top and the very bottom of the globe, with the 2 polar oceans. Kicking off our list at number 5, we are heading straight to the top of the world to find the smallest and, the shallowest of the 5 big oceans.
And that is the Arctic Ocean. It's wrapped around the North Pole, a seriously cold and dynamic place with all that shifting sea ice. Its deepest known point is the Molloy Hole, and it's a super important habitat for animals like seals and polar bears, creatures that have totally adapted to life on the edge of the ice.
All right, for number 4, we're going from one pole to the other. We're heading all the way south to the iciest continent on Earth.
We're talking about the Southern Ocean, which literally surrounds the entire continent of Antarctica. This ocean is famous for its powerful currents that act like a huge barrier, keeping Antarctica frozen. Its deepest spot is the South Sandwich Trench. That's a long, deep gash in the seafloor created by tectonic plates shifting around. It's also a massive feeding ground for gigantic creatures like the blue whale. Okay, now we're getting into the heavyweights. These next 2 oceans are not just huge in size and depth, they are absolutely central to our history, to trade, and even to our global climate.
Coming in at number 3 on our countdown is an ocean that's been a crossroads for different cultures for thousands of years. Yup, the Indian Ocean. It's the world's 3rd largest, nestled between Asia, Africa, and Australia, which made it a critical hub for sea trade since ancient times. It's also known for its warm waters and incredible biodiversity, including a whole lot of sharks that love its coral reefs and open waters.
But here's the thing that'll blow your mind. Despite how important it's been throughout history, an estimated 90% of the Indian Ocean is still completely unexplored. It's just a wild reminder of how little we actually know about the world under the waves.
And now for our silver medalist, the runner-up for the deepest ocean on the planet,
The Atlantic Ocean. This is the world's 2nd biggest ocean, the one that famously separates the Old World from the New. It's got the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, which is the longest mountain range on Earth, and it's all underwater. The deepest point is the Puerto Rico Trench, and it supports huge fisheries that are crucial for everybody.
And just to give you a sense of its scale, the Atlantic alone covers a crazy 20% of our planet's entire water surface. Think about that for a second. Just one ocean holds 1/5 of all the water on Earth. Okay, we've made it. This is our final destination. We are now about to dive into the largest, the mightiest, and by far the deepest ocean basin this world has to offer.
Taking the number 1 spot, the undisputed champion of the deep is
the Pacific Ocean. This thing is so massive it could hold all of the world's continents and still have room left over. It separates Asia, Australia, and the Americas, and most importantly for us, it has the single deepest trench on the face of the Earth.
And that legendary place is, of course, the Mariana Trench. It's a scar on the Earth's crust so incredibly deep that if you could somehow place Mount Everest inside of it, its peak would still be buried under more than a mile of water.
10,927 meters. That is almost 11 kilometers straight down. It's just an almost unbelievable distance, a place of crushing pressure and absolute total darkness.
And this one specific location, the very bottom of the Mariana Trench and the deepest point we know of on our entire planet, it has a name, Challenger Deep. It really represents the farthest humans have ever reached into the depths of our own world.
You know, when you think about it, it's this incredible full circle moment. From those first hesitant trips in simple little boats to actually mapping the absolute bottom of the sea, humanity's drive to explore has finally shown us the true scale of our planet's oceans.
But here's the thing. Reaching the bottom doesn't mean we know everything. No way. In fact, it's really just the beginning. It leaves us with the ultimate question. We know where the bottom is, sure, but what unknown creatures, what geological secrets, and what new mysteries are still down there, just waiting for us in that enormous, unexplored darkness?